Good morning. Michael Masserang here again. And today we're going to talk about encapsulations. I did an inspection last week, very interesting. It's November here in the Carolinas. I received a phone call from a customer that reported some odor and smell issues with a currently encapsulated crawl space. So I went to the home, investigated this home, and you'll see in the attached photographs a number of fallacies that we found inside the crawl space. Let's cover a few of these issues today. The common misconception about encapsulations, they get rid of smell. This could not be more incorrect. This crawl space was about 3,000, maybe 3,500 square feet, fully encapsulated by an encapsulation company in the past. And as you'll see in the picture attached here, a couple of things that we should note. This crawl space was encapsulated with a thick fiber reinforced liner that the company put down. What we're finding is the fiber reinforcement inside these liners does off-gas and odor. The customer also reported that the crawl space had an earthy kind of smell, which is commonly reported here in North Carolina. We do have pockets of soil gas release and just a high pH level in the soil that can cause some odors to percolate upstairs, as well as perhaps some mixed organics could be in the soil. So one thing we want to talk about too is dehumidifiers. You'll see that this crawl space was equipped with a commercial dehumidifier. You'll see that the setting was set at 48%. Well, 48% relative humidity in a 55-degree crawl space in the middle of the winter is way too dry. These people have super dried their floor system. Based on the surface inspection upstairs, the hardwood floors are all beginning to crack because there is absolutely no moisture. The wood moisture content in this crawl space is under 6%, as you'll see in the picture, which is way too dry. The ideal range for wood moisture is 12 to 14%, and these encapsulation companies in general use relative humidity as a point of gauging whether or not the crawl space is healthy. Relative humidity is just one piece of the puzzle. Unless you're calculating wood moisture and dew point, you're basically guessing at the overall crawl space health. You'll also see that the dehumidifier has a duct kit. I am not a big fan of duct kits. Dehumidifiers are not designed to move air. They're designed to remove moisture, and they exhaust out of the backside of the unit on a lot of these commercial crawl space ready units. When you put a duct kit on a commercial dehumidifier, you inhibit its ability to move air, and especially when you put a splitter on the system, as you see in this picture, you greatly decrease the amount of effectiveness this dehumidifier can produce. You're much better using a dead corner fan of some kind to move this air from one part of the crawl space to another, or perhaps a pipe fan on a duct kit that's separate from the dehumidifier. A properly designed fan system that you'll see here in another picture, perhaps using an Atmox fan, which is properly designed to move air from one part of the crawl space to another. This will enable the dehumidifier to operate more efficiently. Relative humidity level at 48% is really way too dry in that type of an environment. And so, that was changed during my inspection. I bumped the dehumidifier up to 68% so that it'll shut off. There's no need to run the dehumidifier in the wintertime in many of these encapsulated crawl spaces. So, as you'll see also, sealed vents. When you're sealing off every crevice of the crawl space, you're not allowing any fresh air exchange into the crawl space, and that allows the buildup of these odors and smells that customers will report. You can get on the internet and see, do a Google search for cat urine encapsulation, pool liner smell, and you'll find many people that are reporting problems with their encapsulations. You can also disrupt the efficiency of your HVAC system. So there's a lot of things that customers will report that can hinder the overall health of the crawl space and also the overall living environment upstairs. These customers that I met last week have tried calling everybody. Nobody can seem to give them an answer. Run one silly exhaust fan, which I see on other YouTube channels, which is completely ridiculous and preposterous. In order to change this environment, we're going to go in and we're going to attach a controlled ventilation system to this house. Reintroduce it back to an engineered, vented system that falls under vented code to reintroduce fresh air into this crawl space and get rid of the smell. And we're going to guarantee it for this customer. So if you have a problem with odors and smells in your encapsulated crawl spaces, understand that the design of these systems is way too much. It's just too much firepower for just a few pints of moisture that can accumulate in a crawl space during the summer months. The reason why these crawl spaces are encapsulated is because of 3 to 4 months out of the summertime when you do have high moisture coming in through the crawl space vents, and if you have ductwork inside the crawl space, that accelerates the problem, creating a localized dew point problem, and condensation problem persists. This is what soaks into the wood and creates elevated wood moisture. So understand why this happens in the first place. Just because you have condensation drip, just because you have a problem getting rid of the moisture in your crawl space, you don't automatically have to spend $20,000 on one of these expensive encapsulation protocols. There are other options. Do research. Don't automatically think you have to go with what's online because it looks good in a brochure or on a picture. Investigate the challenge thoroughly. If it's a large crawl space, the less effective encapsulations become, and also the more of a chance that you're going to have odors and smell. The thickness of the liner means absolutely nothing as far as the moisture release through that medium. You can look up the engineering curve online and verify that. Thickness of plastic means absolutely nothing for moisture release. What it does, though, if you have like a 20 mil or 30 mil piece of plastic that you put down in your crawl space, it's most definitely going to off-gas the smell, and many people with sensitivities can smell that. So if you have any questions about encapsulations or controlled ventilation systems, or if you're having an odor and smell issue in your house that you can't resolve, certainly consider the crawl space as that source. And if you've had an encapsulation company encapsulate the crawl space, they're never going to be able to solve this problem. Quit calling them. Call somebody that's actually an expert in crawl space science. Give us a call for a free consultation. Even if you're outside of our market in Charlotte, I get calls from people all over the country. I'm glad to have a conversation with you to point you in the right direction so that you can resolve this issue with a fresh air concept. Don't get hoodooed by the encapsulation companies. Educate yourself and find a more suitable solution for your challenges. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you're having a great day. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.